Warning, stay tuned to learn how to survive this encounter with the Evil Dead.
Picture this. You and your friends have just traveled to a cabin in the middle of nowhere because someone accidentally read from the Book of the Dead. And now the forest is turning your friends into bloodthirsty demons. There's nowhere to run, there's nowhere to hide. All you have is whatever's in the cabin and in the shed outside. How do you survive? You better pay attention, or you'll end up like this.
Psychos and Screen Queens, and welcome to How to Survive, a show about making it out of your favorite horror movies without getting brutally murdered. I'm Juliette Jolly, and with me as always is our other horror hostess,
Kate Mancini.
Stab that like button down below if you think you'll make it out alive.
And if you think you'll die, then you should just stop watching the video.
Don't do that, don't do that,
Don't do it.
Just
still leave a like. Evil Dead?
Oh
my God! 2013. What do you think of Evil Dead 2013?
Remake
It's
of
from
Evil Dead,
2013.
and we're
What do
talking
you
at the
think
same
of
time,
it?
and what do you think of this
It's
one?
good. I like it a lot.
It's honestly my favorite Evil Dead movie.
Okay.
This is kind of the black sheep of the franchise. I think a lot of people put this lowest on their ranking, purely because, you know, it's not Sam Raimi.
I think it's on par with like all of the original three.
But our protagonist is the most boring guy ever for most of the film.
Yeah, David is supposed to be Ash, and then at the very end he dies, and it's revealed Mia is the new Ash, which is a fun twist.
That is fun. It's like Cheryl living.
This movie has gore that's like fucked up in a way that like even I don't get like really grossed out by gore in movies, but every time I watch this movie, when she's like cutting her tongue in half, so disgusting.
It's so nasty. A lot of people also are not huge on this one because Ash isn't in it, but to that I say, did you stick around?
Actually,
He waited for the movie to end, and he's sitting in a little void.
Let us know what you thought of Evil Dead Rise.
Let us know what you thought of Evil Dead Rise, but you know, I love this movie. You love this movie. We all love this movie. And what's our Austin Powers tie-in?
Groovy. So, remember Evil Dead 1, 2, and 3?
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. It's not even pretending to be a sequel anymore. But also, it might be a sequel to the first one. Just kidding. Who gives a shit? Anyway, so there's 5 friends, and they come to a cabin because one of them is addicted to heroin, and they're gonna get her to quit. And so she's gonna deal with withdrawals. So they're gonna bring her in an isolated place in the middle of nowhere. So they get to the cabin. They're detoxing her. It's going well. Actually, no, it's really not going well. It's kind of going poorly. And then they find a scary little book. And who decides to read it but one of the friends, Eric? He reads it, and then, you know what happens? Have you seen the first 3 movies?
Yeah.
It's bad.
They go to the past?
That part doesn't happen.
Oh.
Have you seen the first movie?
Mhm.
It's a lot like that.
Okay.
Really nasty stuff. Then she has to fight a demon who is just like a lady walking around. There's blood raining. Evil Dead 2013.
Wait, I feel like we're missing something. Does someone wait for the movie to end and then look at us?
I don't think so. That's the title card.
Oh, well, whatever. Let's get in the kills.
Groovy, baby!
If you're new here, we have a bone rating system from 1 to 5 bones on how survivable the kills are. 1 bone, you're dead. 2 bones, you're unlikely to survive. 3 bones, it's a 50-50 chance. 4 bones, it's easy to survive with still a chance of death. And 5 bones, if you die, you're a freaking Dumbo.
Yeah,
you're freaking
and
stupid.
we don't freaking like you, okay?
We are skipping our cold open deadite kill and the mention of her mom being died because the only time those characters are actually alive is off screen because she's a deadite when the movie starts. So our first kill is Olivia, played by Jessica Lucas, who is possessed and then her head is smashed in. She's Shelly in Analog. Like her scare scene in the bathroom, it's like an expanded version of Shelly hiding. It's very, very fun that they do it in the order of the original film. But anyway, she gets possessed for trying to take a gun away from Mia and then gets vomited all over, and then the possession like takes over and makes her pee and fuck herself up.
What way do you have to survive it? I guess don't get vomited on, but what are you gonna do?
It's a one. I don't know. You get vomited on and then you pee.
That shit sucks. Next kill.
Our next kill is Natalie, played by Elizabeth Blackmore, who is possessed and then bled out in human form.
So, what way do you have to survive it?
It's kind of crazy to fall for the old deadite trick of pretending to be normal, but also she wants to be seen as a good person, like, oh, let me help my boyfriend's sister.
Yeah.
And she really does her best to try to stop the infection her possession stuff with her hand, and she wasn't good enough by like a tendon.
Yeah.
And then she just goes full Deadite and starts shooting people with a nail gun and crowbar, and then turns human, which I have always questioned whether or not them turning human is a trick or not a trick.
I still think it's possible that...
You think the Deadite pretended like, oh, I love you, David, and I'm gonna die?
Well, yeah, maybe it was a fuck with him. I don't know. I mean, I think it's possible that the Deadite just unpossessed her at the end, maybe to make her have to experience her death.
She is Linda. That's her analog. And in Evil Dead 1, she's tricking. But also, she dies from, there's like a whole thing where Ash drags her out and then cuts her head off and all that stuff. That doesn't happen, and then she just kind of bleeds out. So I think she gets unpossessed fully.
I guess so, maybe then.
So I would say it's a 1.
Really? I think it's at least a 2, just for the fact that you went into the cellar.
She was still cautious, though. The reason she couldn't get out is because the stair broke
She
unexpectedly.
went into the cellar. That's at least a 2. I mean, I have it at 3, but it's at least a 2.
You got kind of almost sexually assaulted by Mia, if ever we're being real.
It's a 1. The Evil Dead movies are awesome. I love that they keep doing...
Oh, you do?
No?
Our next heel is Eric, played by Lou Taylor Pucci, which is his real name.
Oh, come on. Don't fucking...
Who bleeds out and then is possessed and then is immolated in the cabin explosion at the end.
Don't read from the book.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a scary book and he's reading from it and it says don't read from it.
I give it the same bones as Scotty, but I think he's a better character than Scotty.
You think so?
Because Scotty is like...
Scotty's kind of a dick.
Yeah. He's a dick, and
Eric's
he's leaving.
not a dick. He's
Eric
just kind
knows
of like...
what's up.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like how Cheryl in the original knows what's up.
Mm-hmm.
He tries to atone for his mistake, and he goes through hell and lives and saves David's ass, but it is all his fault.
Yeah.
But also, is it his fault for not knowing that demon magic is real?
Yeah.
Circumstances kind of drive home that fucked up shit happened because of the book. But also, if David followed Eric's instructions, the only people that would have died are Mia and Olivia. So it's a mixed bag. I think it's a 3.
I have it as a 4, so we can go with a 3.
Yeah. Our final kill?
Our final kill?
Our final kill is David, aka New Ash, played by Shiloh Fernandez, who is immolated in the cabin explosion after he gets stabbed in the neck by Deadite Eric.
What would you do to survive?
Get the fuck out of there.
Yeah.
Taking his goddamn time. Let me stop and look at some pictures in the evil cabin where evil shit happens. Come on. I know he thinks evil's gone. I guess he did dismember Natalie in the unrated cut, but he doesn't touch Eric's body. Does he just think like, Eric died and demons didn't possess him?
I guess so, yeah. My way to survive this would be better at being Ash. You're the new Ash, and he sucks shit at it.
I have it as a 3, because he does so much good stuff in it, but he also fucks up some stuff.
I think he could have gotten out of the situation possibly if he had been slightly better at being new Ash.
So let's get to our conclusions.
Yep.
Our most survivable death, sadly, is Eric, who reads the book and starts all this shit.
Yep, he didn't mean to. He didn't want to do it.
Unlike Evil Dead 1, really seems like evil shit was not going on until the book was read
until
from.
he read it. Listen, he didn't mean to do it. He didn't know what he was doing, but...
He did read that shit out loud.
His fault.
He read it
out loud. A little bit knew what was going on
there.
Yeah. He was his fault, and he's a fucking loser. We hate him.
No, I love him, though.
I kind of love him.
Yeah, he's your boyfriend.
No.
Our least survivable death is Olivia, because she's the first person who dies and doesn't really know there's evil shit going on. And
yeah, she gets vomited on. She pees herself.
Sorry to her.
Yeah.
So I added up and averaged out all of the bones, and our average survivability of this movie is exactly 2 bones. So you are probably gonna die in this.
You might not, but you're dead.
Technically, everyone dies in this, because Mia dies on screen and then comes back.
That is true. Well, we actually have one more death we gotta count. It's an off-screen kill. It is Ash. He is in hell.
So, you're in this situation, in the scariest Evil Dead situation there can be. So, let's figure out how to survive this one.
Play keep away. Play both defense and offense by keeping all weapons out of the hands of Deadites and in your possession instead.
If the nail gun and crowbar and shotgun were all kept away, none of this shit would have happened.
Yeah.
Destroy all Deadites. Double check that all Deadites are less ite and more dead. As for how, the book says it all. There are 3 ways to kill a Deadite in this film, and all of them them are so the possessed suffers a horrible and agonizing death, a live burial, bodily dismemberment, and purification by fire.
Yeah, you gotta get rid of them. You gotta make sure that these motherfuckers are gone.
Yep, fully.
That's all there is to it. A trusting relationship. If all else fails and you get possessed, you need a friend who will dedicate as much effort to saving you as David does for Mia. Yeah, this is kind of like have a brother who really cares about you or some shit.
I mean, we don't really know, but you could do the Evil Dead 2 thing of being really sad.
Yeah, honestly, no one had tried being really sad.
He's so lucky that the defibrillator that he made worked.
I know.
He's so
yeah.
lucky that it worked.
But yeah, just do that shit.
Another episode of How to Survive has come to a close. You survived this encounter, but to ensure you never get left on the cutting room floor, hit that subscribe button and double tap that bell button so you don't miss any future survival guides. Head over to patreon.com/thisisreallycreepy for early access and exclusive bonus content that's sure to scare. And do you have what it takes to survive the Army of Darkness in Army of Darkness? To find out, click the video on screen now, before it's too late!
And then he shows up and says groovy.
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 That should be the jump scare.
Groovy.